Assalamualaikum. I am S62715 Siti Humara Penny Salmin from Bachelor of Accounting with Honour. For this video, I would like to present about the industrial training at AMEC Consulting Services near Berhad, which is the internship period is 24 March 2025 until 5 September 2025 within 24 weeks. For my report, I choose the topic about accounting, taxation, and ethical issues in managing small business clients. First and foremost, we go to company profile about the AMEC Consulting Services Sdn Bhd. They established in 2009 at Bandar Baru Bangi, Selangor. The business nature is about independent consulting firm specializing in business process outsourcing. The core service about accounting, taxation, business advisory and financial consultancy, and also company secretarial services. The workforce between 25 to 45 professionals, including staff and trainees. We move for the main slide, which is this chapter discuss the main issue observed during my internship, which are related to accounting, taxation, and ethical practices when dealing with SME clients. SME are very important in Malaysia because they contribute insignificantly to GDP and employment. However, many of them face challenge in keeping proper records and complying with tax regulation. This usually happens because of limited financial literacy, lack of resources, and also the complexity of regulatory requirements. For the observed issues during internship, from my internship experience, I noticed several recurrent problems. For accounting, issues such as incomplete document and weak bookkeeping practices were common. In taxation, many clients were not fully aware of their responsibilities like CP204, submissions, and SST compliance. Apart from that, ethical dilemmas also occurred, for example, when client pressured to overlook certain description of requests, aggressive tax minimization strategies that could risk non-compliance. Because of these challenges, the objective of the chapters are threefold, which is the first one to identify the accounting and taxation issues among the SME, to analyze how ethical issues arise in practice, and third one is to provide suggestions for improvement in compliance and professional conduct. In this section, I first compare the findings from internship with theories and regulation. From the literature, accurate and timely record keeping is the foundation of reliable financial reporting. Theories like accurate basis and matching principle under MFRS emphasize that income and expenses must be recorded in the correct period. Tax compliance also requires proper classification under the Income Tax Act 1967 and IRB guidelines. At AMEC, many practices follow this principle, such as accurate adjustment, proper double entry records, and systematic tax computation. However, consistent with what the literature say about SMEs, problems still appear in practice. For example, incomplete document and low accounting literacy among clients. In terms of rules and regulation, AMEC ensure compliance with MFRS, the Company Act 2016, and IRB requirements like CP204 and CP204A submissions. The challenge usually comes when clients submit document late, which could risk penalty or inaccurate tax estimates. To address this, AMEC use a reminder, regular review, and client communication supported by the MIA bylaws that stress integrity, objectivity, and professional competence. For the next part, focus on best practices and comparison with other organizations. Best practice in the accounting field emphasize proactive client engagement and the use of digital system. At AMEC, software like QuickBooks and Buku was used to improve accuracy and reporting. I also gained exposure to professional development through seasons such as tax training on Form C and e-invoice implementation class. However, some SME clients still rely on manual systems which increase error risk. A suggested improvement would be encouraging clients to adopt cloud-based solutions supported with training. For the practice of other organizations, when compared with the large firms such as the Big Four, AMEC's technical work was consistent, but the bigger firms had more structured systems like client onboarding checklists, risk profiling, and automatic compliance dashboard. They also provide workshop and tax briefing for clients. While AMEC cannot adopt all of this due to size, it could still implement simplified risk assessment and more SME-focused workshop to improve clients' compliance and education. The first part looks at the causes of issues faced during my internship. From the client side, delays in submitting documents were common, and many SMEs used weak record-keeping methods such as spreadsheet and handwritten notes. Limited financial literacy also play a role, with clients underestimating the importance of deadlines or requirements under MFRS and CP204. From the internal perspective, the absence of a structured onboarding checklist means that document quality varied across clients. Reliance on manual or outdated systems also made the process slower. Externally, changes in tax law and the introduction of new requirements like e-invoicing created additionally confusing among SME clients. These combined factors were the main causes of the issues I observed. The consequence of this issue can be serious. Operationally, last-minute submission means that work had to be completed under pressure, which increased the risk of mistake, such as incomplete reconciliation or estimation. From the legal side, no compliance could trigger penalties under the Income Tax Act 1967, even investigations by the IRB. Under the Companies Act 2016, late filings could also result in the final fines or formal warning. Reputation was another important consequence. Clients who repeatedly faces penalties might lose confidence in the firm's service even when the delays were their own fault. For SMEs, repeated compliance issues could also damage their professional image with regulators, investigators, or partners. Despite the challenge, AMEC has several strengths. The use of QuickBooks and Buku improved efficiency and accuracy. The firm also investigates in client education through the workshop and training on areas like tax compliance and e-invoice. Interns, including myself, were exposed to direct client engagement, which was valuable for skill development. On the other hand, there were also weaknesses. The firm relied heavily on client cooperation, so delays immediately impacted deadlines. Unlike larger firms, AMEC lacked advanced automated system for reminders and compliance tracking. Lastly, with a relatively small team, the firm faces limitation in handling sudden workload spikes, especially during peak reporting periods. In order to address the issue faced, several recommendations were identified. Firstly, having a structured client onboarding process with a checklist can help ensure all documents are received on time and in the right format. A simple risk assessment at the beginning could also highlight potential compliance gaps earlier. To improve timeliness, the firm could expand the use of automated reminders and integrate tracking tools within the QuickBooks. In addition, client workshops could be held more frequently or focus on specific topics like e-invoicing or tax updates. Finally, periodic internal review or client files would help detect errors much earlier, reducing the need for urgent last-minute correction. From this experience, several key skills and knowledge were developed. Communication skills improve when explaining technical matters to clients in a simple way. Technical knowledge was also enhanced through training, especially in tax return preparation and e-invoice implementation. Dealing with incomplete documents and last-minute change strengthened problem solving and time management. Collaboration with the supervisor and auditors helped to build teamwork. Most importantly, the internship reinforced the importance of ethics such as integrity, objectivity, and due care, which are central to the accounting professional. That's all from me. Thank you.